What is up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I'm, as always, your grateful host, Cam Williamson. Grateful to be back with you. Do me a favor, got a lot of new people watching. Hit the thumbs up button before we get started. If you've been waiting for this video to drop because you've been watching my other ones, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. It's saying more of you are subscribing, but not all of you. Do it. Let's get into it. Day 12. This morning, we talked to Johnny Depp's bodyguard, one of the big ones. His name was Steve, started with a K, long, Christmassy, Santa-like beard, and he had insight into an actual situation where there were some hands thrown. One, where Amber Heard actually came across him, the bodyguard, to punch Johnny Depp. That was big. He testified to that. That was huge, and you saw Amber's face change when that happened. He said something very important during his testimony, which is he gave as good as he got when it came to verbally. Now, to a lot of people, that will sound damning. For people that have been following the trial, Johnny Depp's language and his verbal articulations are nothing new. We're not shocked on that. So if he was going to lose this case on how he spoke to Amber Heard, well, he already lost. Today was actually not great a few times in that testimony with his own bodyguard, who still works for him, because he did say things like, yeah, I saw Johnny do coke a few times, and he was one of the few people that has done that. He was one that said, like, yeah, Johnny can give it as good as he can get it. But again, it shows that these guys are not lying for him. If they were standing up there going, oh, no, my boss is the best, and he would never do something like that, it's like, well, okay, we've seen a lot of stuff that shows otherwise. I did forget to mention off the top, Amber Heard fired her PR team this weekend. So she is very aware of how she's being portrayed right now and how she looks. This is all she cares about. How have we not figured out that in the middle of a defamation case, she fired her PR team while also filing a countersuit against Johnny Depp for defamation? What? This is where people like to say that I need to be careful, and I should sometimes, about calling people narcissists. Well, Amber Heard is displaying so many characteristics of narcissism with her inflated ego, the things she's willing to do to get what she wants, even if it means crossing over people, using emotions as tools instead of actually appearing as if she has any real ones when they're not to her advantage, to love bomb or be love bombed, or to gain monetarily, materialistically. She is borderline a lot of things. The forensics expert that came in, the forensic psychologist that came in, had said that she's borderline personality disorder. I think Amber Heard is borderline a lot of stuff. But she is one thing for sure. Toxic. Toxic. As the morning break was taking an end, we were talking to one of Johnny Depp's managers at CAA. You guys may hear CAA quite a bit in this case. CAA is like the biggest talent agency in Hollywood. So you have CAA and you have WME are the two biggest, and they don't like each other much. So Johnny Depp works for CAA, or he's represented by them, and this is where the heart of Johnny's case is coming in, and at good time, because a lot was made this weekend in the news and of people covering it of, has Johnny Depp lost this case? Because when she claims she was a victim of domestic violence, okay, Johnny's trying to prove that he did not physically harm her. He did not use violence physically against her. It seems like there's no evidence that he did, and in fact, she was the one that did that to him, and that she knew that, and so she said, I'm going to blame this on you, because who the fuck's going to believe you, Johnny? A man, you, Johnny Depp, a man, a victim of domestic violence. He says, yes, I am. So she uses the truth as a tool, okay? And then we start talking about the actual defamation and how it affects Johnny Depp, which is why he's seeking $50 million, because we're talking to his agent at the time that he lost Pirates of the Caribbean, probably his most successful grossing movie with Disney. Now, that could be contested to when they just started talking about royalties and stuff like that and getting paid on the back end of movies. So movies like Edward Scissorhands and Alice in Wonderland and, again, other ones that I'm not naming that aren't from Disney, I'm sure he gets a lot of royalties from that. So Pirates of the Caribbean, sure, I think that's by far his most successful movie and what most people know him for. So they're talking about now, why did he lose that? At every single flipping turn, Elaine is up there. Objection! Ejection! Hearsay! Ejection! Foundation! Objection! And it's like, yo, it's not objection. You can't object for hearsay when he's not talking about talking to anyone. He's saying what he saw in the place he was sitting in. He kept trying to talk about meetings with Disney on the matter of Johnny Depp playing Jack Sparrow and why he was not able to play that character anymore. She kept going, objection, hearsay. It's like, it's not hearsay. I was there. I'm the one having the conversation about exactly what this whole fucking trial is about. You can't object to that. And like, again, I'm watching Legal Bites, so I'm watching a bunch of lawyers that are commenting on it, and that shit's getting kind of annoying because now that this show is gaining success, or the channel is, they will not stop talking. So I'm about to turn Legal Bites off and turn back on the Law and Crime Network because it's driving me insane at every point that something important is happening. Someone is talking or giving a funny little quip. We don't need to hear fucking quips. So I'm about done with that. I'm done with that while I'm actually trying to live coverage watch an unbiased source, because that's the thing. You want to watch unbiased sources. I don't need people's little quips when I'm watching testimony. You can give me that after, because while it's not in real time and I'm trying to process it, I don't need your fucking that's sort of funny. It's not fucking funny. None of this shit is funny. Right? Again, people have talked about some of these witnesses. Alejandro, they called him the desk manager. I thought he was like the property manager or the grounds manager at the buildings that the building that Johnny owns with all the penthouses in it. Everyone wanted to talk about, oh, he's the greatest witness ever. Look how relatable this guy is, because he was like vaping during a court disposition, and he was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I just want to be done with this. It's like, okay, everyone's talking about how likable and how normal he is, and oh, look, he didn't want to be there. It's like, yeah, but you are there, my guy. And so respect the process for what it is. I can understand you're probably nervous, but to try to go, let's stop playing ourselves. Now, his deposition, God bless, I can't say that word, deposition was from a long time ago. So, he probably wasn't thinking that this was all going to be, played live, but it is. And all this stuff is a very public thing. So all these people that are kind of making light of the situation, I don't care much for that, because this is something still to be taken seriously. And again, a lot of y'all are just not funny. So I've seen so many jokes and so many memes now about the Muffin Man in the Johnny Depp case. Yo, it stopped being funny 10 seconds after the attorney made a big deal about it. We got it. It was the Muffin Man. Ha ha ha. We got the laugh. Can we please focus on the case? Can we please stop trying to make memes and merch and all kinds of other shit off a person's relationship who was abused? If we're going to cover it and we're going to talk about what's happening, right? And make sure that we can spread awareness so stuff like this doesn't happen again, let's not turn it into, how can I come up with the funniest meme to clown either Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, or either of their attorneys? Because guess what? All of these people are going to go on to try to build lives again after this. We can all speculate and we can all have our opinions on where everyone should fall after this is over, whether Johnny Depp wins or loses or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, none of these people are going to jail. None of these people are going to be given the death sentence for this. So for us to all sit around and act like it's just fair game to treat all these people like they're circus animals to just be pointed and laughed at. I've done, my fair share of criticizing Amber Heard's defense team because they're doing a poor job, in my opinion. If I was their client, I would probably be seeking other representation, just as it stands now. Because every single witness that comes up to the stand, when Johnny's team may drop the ball and they may allow certain things to be said, Elaine's not hitting it on cross. She's being so aggressive and so, like, argumentative now today, even with the judge. It's like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Watch. It's going to be absolutely nobody could end up in jail over this, and Elaine ends up in jail over contempt of court because she gets smart with the judge. Everyone's talking about, because it's coming up probably relatively soon, Amber Heard's testimony. Will she stay cool under pressure? I would love to hear what you guys think. She did not stay very cool in the deposition. God bless with that word. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's a video clip of when she gave her testimony when she was a witness. She was not a defendant in the case of Johnny Depp's UK trial. And she was like up there eating while she was giving it. She was like smacking gum and shit. And you could tell she was getting sassy at moments. I'm guessing they've told her, they've given her tons of different meditation, breathing practices. And they've told her she's not, well, I'm not going to say that. They've told her, look, they're going to try to press you. You saw how we tried to press Johnny, right? They're going to do that to you. You cannot blow up there. If you blow up, you lose. I think it would be a wild idea. But could y'all imagine if Amber Heard was standing up there and they asked all these questions, and she knows that this would be the only way to walk away from this with any sort of dignity, is on the stand while she's testifying. She goes, y'all, I'm done with this. I lied. I want to be done. Can I say that I lied, and can I be done? And I'm willing to pay whatever I got to pay to make this right, and I'm sorry. Now, I don't think she has that capacity in her, and I don't think most normal people would do such a thing. But in the crazy reality that we live in with all this, it's hard not to wonder, like, how is this going to play out? It seems to me like Amber Heard's team is going to make much of times when no one was around and no evidence couldn't be brought forward of what Amber Heard is speculating. So it's going to become, you either, in the movement's terms, believe all women, which I don't even believe that the Me Too movement is behind this. She might have tried to use that as a stepping stool or as a podium to stand on, but I don't think that's a legitimate thing that backs her. So for them to try to use that now to be like, hey, we believe all women, so therefore you got to believe what she's saying here, even though for at least the last 3 weeks and 1 day, we've heard everything counteracting that. Court's back in session. I'm going to roll so that way I can cover it. I'll let you guys know if something big happens this afternoon. If not, I will see you tomorrow for the catch-up. Love you so much.